This is Kenya, one of the most beautiful countries in Africa, renowned for its beautiful safaris, beautiful cities, and friendly people. In this video, we shall be taking a deep dive into this fascinating country, and we shall be bringing out everything you need to know about this country. But first, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. 1. Kenya has a rich and varied history dating back thousands of years. Archaeological evidence suggests early human habitation in the region as far back as the Paleolithic era. Over the centuries, Kenya was home to a number of indigenous groups and civilizations, including the Swahili people along the coast. In the late 19th century, the territory was colonized by the British and became known as the East Africa Protectorate. For decades, Kenya was ruled by the British, who exploited the land and people for economic gain. This colonial period was marked by resistance and unrest, as Kenyans fought for independence. After a protracted struggle, Kenya finally gained its independence in 1963 and became a republic. The post-independence period has been tumultuous, with political instability, ethnic tensions, and economic challenges. However, Kenya has also experienced periods of growth and has emerged as one of the more prosperous and influential countries in East Africa, with a diverse cultural heritage and abundant natural resources. 2. Kenya is a diverse country located in East Africa, straddling the equator. It is home to a varied landscape, including the snow-capped peaks of Mount Kenya, the Great Rift Valley, vast savannas, and a long coastline along the Indian Ocean. The climate ranges from tropical along the coast to arid in the north. Kenya is known for its abundant wildlife, including the Big Five: lions, leopards, rhinoceroses, elephants, and buffalo, which can be found in the country's extensive network of national parks and game reserves. The country's diverse geography has shaped its rich ecological and cultural heritage. 3. Kenya has a diverse and growing population, with an estimated population of over 54 million as of 2023. The country's demography is characterized by a young population, with a median age of around 20 years. The largest ethnic group in Kenya is the Kikuyu, followed by the Luhya, Luo, Kalenjin, and Kamba. These groups, along with several other smaller ethnic communities, contribute to the country's cultural diversity. Kenya's population is predominantly rural, with around 73% of the population living in rural areas. However, there has been a steady trend of urbanization, with cities like Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu experiencing significant population growth. The country's population growth rate stands at around 2.3% per year, which is higher than the global average. This rapid population growth poses challenges for the government in terms of providing adequate services, infrastructure, and employment opportunities for the growing population. 4. Kenya has a presidential system of government, with the president serving as both the head of state and head of government. The current constitution, adopted in 2010, established a devolved system of government with a national parliament and 47 county-level governments. Politics in Kenya is dominated by two major political coalitions: the center-right Jubilee Party and the center-left Orange Democratic Movement. However, the political landscape is often characterized by ethnic tensions and rivalries, with the two main ethnic groups, the Kikuyu and the Luo, playing a central role. Elections in Kenya have been contentious, with recurring allegations of irregularities and disputes over results. The 2017 general election, for example, was annulled by the Supreme Court due to irregularities and illegalities, leading to a rerun that was boycotted by the opposition. Despite these challenges, Kenya is generally considered one of the more politically stable countries in the region, with a vibrant civil society and a relatively free press. However, issues such as corruption, inequality, and the influence of ethnic identity in politics remain ongoing concerns. 5. Kenya has a diversified economy with key sectors including agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, and services. Agriculture is a significant contributor to the country's GDP, with tea, coffee, and horticulture being major export crops. The tourism industry is also a crucial part of the economy, with the country's national parks, wildlife, and coastal regions drawing visitors from around the world. The nominal GDP of Kenya is $112.7 billion, making it the highest in East Africa. In recent years, Kenya has experienced steady economic growth, driven in part by developments in the technology sector, with Nairobi emerging as a hub for innovation and startups. However, the country also faces challenges such as income inequality, high unemployment, and a large informal sector. The Kenyan government has implemented various economic reforms and development initiatives, such as the Vision 2030 program, which aims to transform Kenya into a middle-income country. While progress has been made, the economy remains vulnerable to external shocks and political instability. Overall, Kenya is considered one of the more economically robust and promising countries in East Africa, with a diverse range of economic activities and significant growth potential. 6. Kenya has been investing heavily in upgrading and expanding its infrastructure in recent years. The country's transportation network is a key focus, with major improvements to its road, rail, and air travel systems. The road network in Kenya is extensive, with both paved and unpaved highways connecting major cities and regions. The government has undertaken several large-scale road construction and rehabilitation projects, including the expansion of the Northern Corridor, a critical trade route. In the rail sector, Kenya has made significant progress with the construction of the Standard Gauge Railway, SGR, a modern, high-speed rail line that connects the port city of Mombasa to the capital, Nairobi, and beyond. This has greatly improved freight and passenger transportation across the country. Kenya's main international airport is the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi, which serves as a major regional hub. The country also has several other international and domestic airports that facilitate air travel and cargo transport. Alongside these transportation developments, Kenya is also working to improve its energy, telecommunications, and water infrastructure to support its growing economy and population. 7. Kenya has a comprehensive education system that consists of various levels, including pre-primary, primary, secondary, and tertiary education. The system is governed by the Ministry of Education and is largely centralized, with the national government setting the curriculum and policies. Primary education is compulsory and free in public schools, with children typically starting at the age of 6. Secondary education is also free in public schools, and students take national exams at the end of their 4-year program. Kenya has a robust higher education sector, with both public and private universities. The country's top universities, such as the University of Nairobi and Kenyatta University, offer a wide range of undergraduate and graduate programs. Technical and vocational training also play an important role, with several institutes providing specialized skills-based education. While the education system has made significant progress, challenges remain, including disparities in access, quality, and outcomes, particularly in rural and marginalized communities. The government has implemented various initiatives to address these issues and improve the overall quality of education in Kenya. 8. Kenya's healthcare system is a mix of public and private providers, with the government playing a significant role in the provision of basic medical services. The public healthcare system is organized into a hierarchy of dispensaries, health centers, sub-county hospitals, county referral hospitals, and national referral hospitals. Access to healthcare remains a challenge, especially in rural areas, where infrastructure and resources are more limited. To address this, the government has implemented initiatives such as the Linda Mama program, which provides free maternal healthcare services. The private healthcare sector in Kenya is relatively developed, with a growing number of private hospitals, clinics, and diagnostic centers, particularly in urban areas. These facilities often provide higher quality services, but at a higher cost, making them inaccessible to many Kenyans. Kenya also faces various healthcare challenges, including a high burden of communicable and non-communicable diseases, as well as issues related to maternal and child health. The government has been working to strengthen the healthcare system, but significant disparities and gaps in access and quality of care remain. 9. The standard of living in Kenya varies significantly across different regions and socioeconomic groups. While the country has experienced steady economic growth in recent years, this has not translated into a uniform improvement in the quality of life for all Kenyans. Poverty remains a significant challenge, with around 36% of the population living below the national poverty line. Income inequality is also high, with the richest 10% of the population accounting for around 40% of the country's total consumption. Access to basic services, such as clean water, sanitation, and healthcare, is also uneven, with rural and marginalized communities often facing greater challenges. However, Kenya has made progress in areas like education, with primary school enrollment rates improving in recent years. The rising middle class, particularly in urban areas, has contributed to a growing demand for consumer goods and services, but the benefits of economic growth have not been equally distributed. Overall, while Kenya has the potential to further improve its standard of living, addressing persistent issues of poverty, inequality, and access to basic services remains a key priority for the government and policymakers. 10. The cost of living in Kenya varies significantly depending on the location, with urban centers like Nairobi generally being more expensive than rural areas. Housing costs are a significant portion of the overall cost of living, particularly in Nairobi, where rents for decent accommodations can be quite high. Utilities such as electricity, water, and internet also add to the monthly expenses. Food prices in Kenya have been on the rise in recent years, driven by factors like droughts, inflation, and global supply chain disruptions. Basic foodstuffs like maize, rice, and vegetables can be relatively affordable, but more specialized or imported items can be quite costly. Transportation costs, including fuel prices and public transit fares, also contribute to the overall cost of living. Additionally, healthcare and education expenses can be significant, especially for higher quality private services. While the cost of living in Kenya may be lower than in some developed countries, it can still pose a challenge for many Kenyans, particularly those with low or fixed incomes. The government has implemented various measures to address the rising cost of living, but more needs to be done to ensure affordability for all segments of the population. 11. Kenya has a rich and diverse cultural heritage, with over 40 different ethnic groups, each with its own unique traditions, languages, and customs. The Maasai, Kikuyu, Luo, and Swahili are among the most well-known ethnic groups, each with their own distinctive cultural practices and ways of life. Kenya is home to a diverse array of ethnic groups, each with its own unique cultural traditions and heritage. The largest ethnic group is the Kikuyu, who make up around 22% of the population. They are followed by the Luhya, 14%, Luo, 13%, Kalenjin, 12%, Kamba, 11%, Kizi, 6%, and Meru, 6%. Other smaller ethnic groups include the Mijikenda, Turkana, Maasai, Samburu, and Pokomo, among others. These groups have varying languages, customs, and practices, which contribute to the rich cultural tapestry of Kenya. The diversity of ethnic groups in Kenya has had a significant impact on the country's political, social, and economic landscapes. Interethnic tensions and rivalry have sometimes led to conflicts, particularly during election periods. However, the government has made efforts to promote national unity and integration, although challenges in this area persist. 12. Kenya is renowned for its prowess in sports, particularly in long-distance running and athletics. The country has produced some of the world's greatest runners, including legendary figures like Eliud Kipchoge, Vivian Cheruiyot, and David Rudisha. Running is deeply ingrained in Kenyan culture, with many young Kenyans taking up the sport at a very early age. The country's high-altitude training camps and nurturing of athletic talent have contributed to its consistent success in international competitions, such as the Olympics and the World Championships. Beyond running, Kenyans also excel in other sports, including rugby, cricket, and soccer. The Kenyan national rugby team, known as the Simbas, has made significant strides in recent years, while the country's cricket and soccer teams have also achieved notable accomplishments. Sports in Kenya are not only a source of national pride, but also provide economic opportunities for many Kenyans, with athletes and coaches finding success both domestically and internationally. The government has also invested in sports development and infrastructure to further strengthen the country's sporting prowess. 13. Kenya is a premier tourist destination, offering a diverse range of attractions that cater to a wide variety of travelers. The country is renowned for its stunning wildlife and natural landscapes, with the iconic Masai Mara National Reserve being one of the most popular destinations. The Masai Mara is home to the annual wildebeest migration, a breathtaking natural spectacle that draws millions of visitors each year. Other notable wildlife parks and reserves in Kenya include the Amboseli National Park, known for its elephants and views of Mount Kilimanjaro, and the Tsavo National Park, the largest national park in the country. Beyond wildlife, Kenya also boasts rich cultural heritage, with vibrant cities like Nairobi and Mombasa offering a blend of African, European, and Asian influences. The country's coastal region is renowned for its beautiful beaches, such as those found in Diani and Watamu. Adventure seekers can also explore Kenya's diverse landscapes, from the snow-capped peaks of Mount Kenya to the arid deserts of the north. With its exceptional natural beauty and unique cultural experiences, Kenya continues to captivate and inspire tourists from around the world. 14. When visiting Kenya, it's important to be mindful of certain cultural norms and practices to ensure a respectful and safe experience. Here are some things to avoid doing in Kenya. Avoid taking photographs of people without their consent, particularly in rural or traditional communities. Kenyans generally value their privacy, and it's considered disrespectful to capture images without permission. Refrain from wearing revealing or inappropriate clothing, especially when visiting religious or cultural sites. It's important to dress modestly to show respect for local customs. Avoid consuming or possessing illegal drugs, as the penalties for drug-related offenses in Kenya can be severe. Be cautious when wandering alone, especially at night, as petty crime and personal safety can be concerns in some areas. It's advisable to travel in groups or with a trusted guide. Refrain from making derogatory comments or gestures about Kenya's political, social, or religious institutions. Kenyans are generally proud of their country and can be sensitive to criticism. By being mindful of these cultural sensitivities and local practices, visitors can have a more enriching and respectful experience in Kenya.